This is Scott Spears, and let me tell you something, wrestling fans, as we roll into the April event for CCW, it is going to be the event of events. Taking place on Saturday night, April 19th, it is the Birthday Bash, the celebration of 80 years.
And I hate to interrupt you because I've heard some rumors that Ox Baker won't be down there for that back. Well, Scott, I gave you my word. I'm giving all the fans there in Marion, Ohio. I love each and every one of them. They had ice cream. They had pizza on me. I will be there April 19th. I will celebrate my birthday there. And I don't know if you know, Scott, I'm even getting a big cake so my fans will have a piece of Ox Baker's birthday cake.
Well, we already know the loudmouth himself has already broke me, and I didn't get 10 words in, Ox Baker, and there was some collusion, Ox. Hold on. Give me a second, because I want to let the fans know the information. The Birthday Bash, celebration 80 years of Ox Baker's life, 50 years in the wrestling business. Ox Baker will wrestle his last match on Saturday night, April the 19th, 7 p.m. start time. Doors open at 6 p.m. $10 a seat. Get those by calling 740-802-4337, or come early. Get them at the door that night. Also, as Ox has already said, there will be a gigantic birthday cake for you, the fans. No cost, just for you, the fans, because of Ox's birthday.
When you're talking, I want to tell you about a couple of things. You know, the Russian brute crawled and tears coming out of his eyeballs. And Ox, I made a mistake. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I shouldn't have did this. I said, Brute, we don't need you around here anymore. It's like Percy Pringle. He interfered. And like I promised Scott and all the fans, he interfered him. How did he go home that night? He got in an ambulance. They had to check him over. I told him not. So either one of the gentlemen are going to be there. But I don't want to disappoint my fans, Scott. I've called a couple friends of mine, and about 13 years ago, these two 7-footers wanted to become professional wrestlers. They didn't quite have enough talent, but with me backing them, they became pretty fair wrestlers. And I said, you know, my beast has other commitments. I can't have him there April 19th. But I said, you know, that foolish Bobo Jr. said, any kind of a match. So it's going to be Ox Baker and his two 7-foot giants against, you know, Bobo Jr. And Jr., if you ever face three guys, one of them 6'6" and a half, and two of them 7 foot, and you think you can whip all of, you're blowing up air. And folks, I'm going to show you, I'm going to pin right in the center. Get him out of there, because we've had enough of him. We've had enough of Pringle. We had enough of the Russian brute. But you'll never get enough of the fantastic Ox Baker.
Let's lay this on the table, Ox. Are you telling me that you're bringing in these two 7-footers, and I know who they are. They're Chris TKO Knuckles and Brute Payne.
How'd you find out? You've got more spies than anybody I know about.
Darn right. And these are two of the baddest boys you'll ever want to find. Both stand 7 foot tall, 300-pound range. And you're telling me 3-on-1?
And I want you to know, Bobo Jr. don't have a stick of a chance. He said, I'll get all my fans there, Ox. We'll boo you and your whoever you bring. Will you bring your fans, Bobo Brazil Jr., and they'll watch you go down 1, 2, 3.
Well, let me add this, Ox, because I knew what you were doing. I do have those spies out, and I always know what you're up to. And first, I want to let the fans know that this is a world title match. If Bobo pins any of you, any of the three, he will become the world champion.
That's right.
Now, I knew, though, even though you've got the deck stacked, and you certainly do, but I knew that you were going to try something like this. So number one, 2 stipulations have been added. There's a new gentleman walking around CCW who doesn't like you very much, and he is now going to be in the corner of Bobo Brazil Jr. that night. He is the American Eagle.
You always add stuff. What's his other stipulation? I put someone in the corner, I don't care. With my 2 7-footers and myself, you could put 6 guys in the other corner, and we'd still be able to 1-2-3 over Bobo Jr.
Well, I know, Ox, because you are sneaky, and I've seen you do this throughout your career. A matter of fact, what was it, 2 days ago was the celebration of an anniversary of you beating Carlos Colon down in Puerto Rico for a world championship. And I know you've done this in the past. You've gotten yourself intentionally disqualified because you know a title can only change hands by pin and submission. So I've talked to the board of directors, I've talked to Commissioner Larry Zbyszko, and that match with your 2-7...
Yeah, Larry Zbyszko hates me, you know that. He probably went along with anything that you... What are you going to add, Scotty?
Larry Zbyszko says, Ox, this match is no disqualification.
What?
Absolutely. You get disqualified, you try to get disqualified, it ain't going to happen.
You talking about the only way you can win the belt is somebody has to get pinned 1, 2, 3?
Or say, I quit.
Or I quit. Yeah, I did some of them I quit matches. They were nasty. They're nasty. But I'm telling you, we don't, with my 2 7-footers and me in the corner guiding them, they will not have a single solitary chance. And Bobo Jr., I'm telling the fans there, I'm giving my word of honor. Ox Baker will be there that night, and Bobo Jr., you will go down 1, 2, 3.
What about the American Eagle in his corner? He might just dish out a little pain, blues, and agony on the three
I've
of you.
heard about this American Eagle. I guess he copied a guy that I had a lot of close matches with called the Patriot, who got into the WWE, and are they associated? Are they the same guy? What are you up to, Scott? You and your trickery.
Well, just remember that if he lays a hand on you, it's no disqualification, Ox. You run that loud mouth of yours, the American Eagle's liable to shut it, and you know Bobo Jr. has wanted to shut your mouth for about the last 15 months.
And my fan, I don't know if he told you that, but a giant birthday cake, you all get a cake, and together we'll sing, Happy Birthday to you. They'll sing Happy Birthday, Ox Baker, April 19th. And folks, you don't believe in anything, believe when Ox Baker says, I will be there.
You will be here, Ox, but let's lay this on the table. We know this is your last match. Win, lose, or draw, you're hanging up the boots.
You got any good excited matches beside mine? I know nobody can follow her, but I hope you get a fan their money worth. Because not only you get to see Ox Baker sing Happy Birthday, eat part of my cake, I want to see some great matches too.
There aren't a lot of great matches on this card, Ox. We've got a 3-way dance. The over 500-pound Uncle Hog will go one-on-one with Chris Payne and Rod Street. We've got a singles match. Carnival, the Evil Clown, will face Demon Khan. We've got tag team action. Mikey the Maniac and GDT will face Lockdown and the Cannibal. And there'll be a new thing.
I heard to the grapevine you want to throw them a battle royal.
Darn
What's that all about?
Ox Baker Commemorative Battle Royal.
I knew you had so much. You had so much, Scott.
That night, over the top rope Battle Royal, a slew of participants. The winner of that match will be the winner of the first annual Ox Baker Commemorative Battle Royal, and will get to redeem that at any point that they so choose a shot at the world champion, which my feeling isn't going to be you after April the 19th.
Scott, you don't like me. I can tell the way you're talking on this air. But get all your stipulations. The bottom line is 2 things. Ox Baker will be there, and Bobo Jr. will get pinned 1, 2, 3.
But you know, I left a match off here, Ox, and you did too, because this is the dirtiest thing you may have done in your 80 years, 50 years of wrestling. You were scared, even with your 2 7-footers, even with all the crap you got going on in that main event. You want Bobo to wrestle a preliminary match that night. He's got to face somebody else before...
Well, you see, I gotta have things a little bit my way. I know the whole world's against me, you know. I even caught a couple of people sticking their tongue out at me the other day.
Well, the people will know the preliminary match. Bobo will have to wrestle a guy. We don't even know who this joker is. Somebody you found on the street corner, I think. The Hangman in one of the deadliest matches of all time.
What a tough individual he is.
Texas Bull Rope match.
I'm going to outsmart you guys to this, Scott. I'm going to lay awake of things to do to that Bobo Jr.
Why do you hate this man so much, Ox? We know he doesn't like you.
Well, because his dad made people for years laugh at me, and I'm getting even by beating up his son.
When you get in the ring that night, let's just paint the picture, Ox. The 2 7-footers go down, the American Eagle has stomped them into the ground, and Bobo looks over at you. And you're standing there. And he comes over and Coco butts you 1, 2, 3, and the career's over. How you gonna feel?
You're going to have to lay a lot more nights awake thinking of things, Scott. But my fans, I want you to know, I can't emphasize it enough. Whatever rumor you heard, I don't care what people will say to you, Ox Baker will be there at his birthday bash.
And let's make this notice, because I do want to bring this out clear as day. There were reports on the internet, Ox, that a week and a half ago, you were in the hospital, you might not be coming. Let's lay it to waste. What's the story?
Well, it's like I even am trying to hit some people up. You know, I've had some great matches in the last 6 months. I want to put them on tape so people can see Ox Baker on tape. You think we can make a tape up of some kind?
I think we can come up with a tape, the greatest losses of Ox Baker, because that's all there have been.
Yeah. The idea, some people say, just to see Ox Baker of fame, his face alone is worth the price of anything.
About 2 cents. And let's bring this up, Ox. And I will say this. I'll give you your due finally, because April 19th, some people don't know this. It is your actual birthday, April the 19th.
1934.
1934.
And I remember the doctor saying to my wife, my wife, she said to her mother, after seeing that kid, please don't come back to the hospital anymore.
Were you born with those eyebrows?
I had a sweetheart of a mother, but the face will never, like you said, Ox, you got a face that wore out 2 bodies. But, folks, like I say, April 19th, I will be there, and Bobo Jr., you will go down.
And I wanted to make this point again. Your final match, and then I'll say it, I'll give the devil his due. If you want to see Ox Baker in the ring, this is your last shot. And you are a legend, I'll give you that. You set a standard. This is it.
You're right. That's the finale, and I want to go out like I have been for 40, 50 years. I want to go out a winner. And folks, afterwards, when we cut that cake and sing happy birthday, that'll be it.
And the Russian brute is no longer in your...
No longer there. Percy Pringle, if you want back in the hospital, slip into that door. Because I promised you in the hospital last time, and folks, like again, me promising to be there, I promised Percy in the ambulance into the hospital. And what happened after that match? In the ambulance, in the hospital, Ox Baker keeps his word, and I will be there. Thank you, and good night.
Ox Baker, folks, the event is Saturday night, April the 19th, 7 p.m. start time. It is the Birthday Bash. Steve Hogg Rec Center, 775 North Main Street. Tickets $10 a pop. Get those by calling 740-802-4337 or get them at the door. Doors are going to open early, 6 p.m. It's Ox Baker's final encounter. 80 years old, 50 years in the wrestling business. You are not going to want to miss this. Don't miss it.